Here's my three people. Everybody's attentive and ready to listen to the speech. And here we go.
I know y'all know me, but my name is Colton for those of you that are watching online. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about a occupation that is important to me and something I'm passionate about, and that is business translation. Something that got me involved in international business, which is my major here at Liberty, is the fact that according to the Economic Policies Institute, last year significantly more jobs were created overseas as opposed to here in the United States. And those jobs that would be here for us to take when we're out of college are now overseas. And the only opportunity for us then to go get those jobs that are overseas is to prepare us for the international marketplace, which is why I chose to major in international business. So today I want to talk to you about something that's a little more specific, something that I'm particularly passionate about, like I said, and that is business translation. And there are three different aspects to international business translation. You have the textual translation, which is going over contracts and taking them from one language to the other. You have oral translation, which is interpreting for someone speaking to another person speaking so they can understand at that time. And I also wanted to discuss the redemptive value of using that language that you learn in school and that professional nature, being in another country for a job, and using that as a door to go then and share the gospel. First of all, I want to talk to you about the textual translation and the importance of that in the business world. A lot of the translation is done with contracts when it comes to business, and that's very important that those that are translating have the very highest of the knowledge in their field, and that often requires a bachelor's degree to make sure that, one, they understand how important it is in business to make sure that words are translated exactly how they should be so there's no misunderstanding, and also that the translator knows how business works so that they can understand the contracts themselves and then make the best translation possible. And as funny as this might seem, it might seem that this is a really specific job and there's not a lot of desire for it. But according to the Bureau of Labor Services, this translation job is actually one of the fastest growing fields in international business. It's growing at a rate of 42% its size now per year, making it one of the fastest growing jobs in that field. We also have the job of interpreter, and that's, instead of textual translation, that's oral translation. You have somebody in a business talking in one language, and the interpreter will take that language and transfer it to another language so that the two different speakers can understand what each other is saying. And again, even though that's not as important, the words, specific words, aren't as important in that situation, it is still important that the translation is accurate, especially when you're dealing with business. So that also typically requires a bachelor's degree in the language that you're studying and also in the field of business that you'd like to go into. And this, again, is one of the faster growing fields in international business, the role of translating the languages, since the language barrier is something that will always be there as long as you're doing business overseas. Right now, though, the salaries are still pretty low. The average person that does interpreting overseas is making about $40,000 a year. But the outlook for that job and for that salary is only going up as international business becomes more prominent and more important in our American lives. And those that become educated and learn a new language and learn a new trade and go over and start working in another country also have the opportunity to share the gospel in a place where they might otherwise not have been able to go to. For instance, Send Ministries gives an international business student the opportunity to go work in China, and while you're working in China overseas doing business like you would with the major that you've learned, you also have the opportunity to meet new people and to talk to them in their language. And that's a good time that you can share the gospel directly to them, and otherwise you wouldn't have been able to do that. So the interpreter and the translating job opens plenty of new opportunities for you business-wise to go overseas and make money where you wouldn't have had the opportunity to do so. But it also gives you the opportunity to go and share the gospel and reach the world for Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for your time.